Hi, this is Gary Hewitt from TechMag Social, and I'm here today with Steve Lowell from Your Stage.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, you are a very animated speaker. You're very passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
So what we'd like to talk to you about, first of all, what it is that you do. What is it that you bring to the community? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, there's two directions to what I do. There's
Okay.
sort of a networking direction, and there's a
Mhm.
public speaking and presenting direction.
Mhm.
So from the networking side, what I do is I help entrepreneurs to speak about their business in such a way that other people will speak about them. See,
Oh,
when
okay.
most people are networking, their objective is to try and get you to understand what I do.
Yes.
But that really isn't the proper objective. The proper objective is not just to get you to understand what I do, but I want you to be able to talk about it when you're out there.
Okay.
So that I help people with that. And then the speaking side is helping people, mostly authors and entrepreneurs, to be inspiring on a stage and,
Mhm.
and to sort of lead from a position of power when they're in front of an audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, I can tell you, I've been to many events, and there's a huge difference in the quality of some speakers.
Yeah.
Some of them are just head and shoulders, they just blow you away because they're so powerful, they're so passionate. And others, they're saying good stuff,
Yeah,
but they don't necessarily come across.
sure.
So you don't teach people necessarily how to get over like just the initial stage fright and get on the stage. You're coming from the position of, I'm going to turn you into a powerful presenter.
Sure, and being a powerful presenter, there's a lot to that. And part
Yes.
of that is taking the stage with the right mindset and
Mhm.
the right preparation and all those things.
Okay.
But the reason why you see such a difference in the quality of speakers is because some speakers are focused on their delivery. And
Mhm.
especially trained speakers who have been trained by different organizations,
Yes.
they're focused on a proper opening and a proper closing and proper transitions and the proper
Yes.
format and
And
when
the
to,
proper little joke.
yeah, and the proper joke and you know when to manufacture emotion and all those things. And what
Okay.
I do is I pull people out of all of that. Because if
okay.
you're focused on your delivery,
Yes.
and if you're focused on the design of your presentation, then
Mhm.
you're not lost in your message. So that the good speakers you see, they
Yes.
don't worry about their delivery. They worry about their message, and their purpose is to communicate with the audience and to be
Mhm.
of value to the audience. So they have this mindset of partnership with their audience, as opposed to, I'm the speaker and you're the audience. The mindset is, we're in this together.
Interesting.
And my objective as a speaker is to get you to feel about my message the way I feel about my message.
Mhm.
And if I'm worried about all of my delivery skills, then that's really not going to happen.
Okay.
So now the delivery skills are important, and we teach that, and that's part of the preparation, and it's part of the practice, and it's part of the skill. So I mean, you do have to have good delivery skills.
Yes.
But when you're on the stage actually delivering, you don't want to be thinking about those.
Okay. So you can actually coach people to get them to that point where they can deliver naturally and
Right.
authentically.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I call it taking them from stage fright to standing ovations, and I've done that for several people, and in some of my webinars you've seen some videos
Mhm.
of specific people who have come to me, and when they begin with my training, they're almost paralyzed by stage fright. And then
Wow,
we show them
okay.
how to get out of that.
Yes.
And then, they put their skills together and they practice and they figure out what it's like to actually share with an audience. And then they're getting standing ovations. Because it's about getting out of your own way. And so many
Mm-hmm.
speakers are just so stuck in their own way.
Okay.
And so I get them out of their own way. I kind of reach into people and pull out talent they didn't even know was there and just show them how to just be themselves.
So you're really a master at this.
It's I'm not really sure where it comes from, but I knew I had this about 20 years ago when I was working with a large training organization, and I was teaching people what I was told to teach people. And
Okay.
most of it didn't feel right,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't look right to me, but I was teaching it because that's what I was instructed to do.
That's the course manual.
Right, that's the course manual,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And then I broke out of that because I just didn't agree with the things that I was teaching. And then over the years I started studying different things and started studying the brain and
Mhm.
and speaking skills and all these different things, and things started to make sense to me. So now when I watch a
Okay.
speaker, I can almost always tell when a speaker has been formally trained.
Okay.
And it's because I see the signs. And so my job is to break them out of all of that and get rid of all of that and just
Okay.
help them just be themselves.
Cool. Good. Why do you do that, Steve?
Because I can.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can.
I really sense that it came from inside,
Yeah.
right? And you've got a passion about this.
You know, it's true. I've been on stage all of my life. I've been on stage since the age of 6.
Okay.
You know, singing or performing or entertaining or speaking or in some fashion being on stage. And
You hear that singing? There's a YouTube out there somewhere. We got to go find
yeah,
it.
there probably is, actually, there is. And it never occurred to me that people didn't enjoy being on the stage.
Okay.
It never occurred to me when I was, you know, growing up that other people found this difficult.
Some people find it absolutely terrifying.
It's amazing to me, and I didn't understand that.
Okay.
And so I would watch these other speakers and these other singers and other entertainers, and I would look at them and say, why are they having such a difficult time? I don't understand it. Well, then I figured it out, and I put 2 and 2 together. I said, I know how to do this. I can help other people do it, and people will pay me for that. I said, wow, it's just a great country or what? Right? So that's
Excellent.
what I do, yeah.
Cool. All right. So do you have any little nuggets that you can leave that will help somebody that is struggling to speak?
Yeah.
Do you have something you care to share with us now?
Sure. Okay, well, there's a couple of things. And this sounds very basic, and it is very basic,
Yeah.
but so many people miss this step. And the single most important thing is to know your stuff. I mean, be so prepared that you could speak about this, you know, your topic in your sleep.
Okay.
And I hear so many speakers say, I'm just going to wing it.
All right.
And you can't. And I don't care how good a speaker you are, if you don't know your stuff, you cannot effectively wing it, period. And so you got to know your stuff.
Yes.
So, but there are some things that you can do before you take a stage that are really going to help you be more comfortable. Number one is this. I tell people to go for a walk about 15 minutes before they speak. And here's why. Because there's a molecule in your brain called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And it's released.
This guy's really studied.
Yeah, oh, I've really studied this stuff. And what this molecule does is it acts like fertilizer for your neurons. And it's released through physical movement. And so if you go for a walk, 10 or 15 minutes, nothing to work up a sweat, but you know, a walk, it releases this molecule in your brain, and it literally makes you sharper when you take the stage. So that's number one. Number two is I teach people to do mouth exercises. You go to the men's room or the ladies' room or somewhere, and you stretch all the muscles in your face, and you just open your mouth as wide as you can in all different directions.
Okay.
Because it takes 72 muscles to speak. And they're all in here, and they're in your throat and around your neck. And if you open your mouth and really stretch all the muscles around here, then the words flow a whole lot easier. Now, I tell people to do this 10 or 15 minutes before, because when I do it, I get all red around here, and so you want that red to sort of dissipate.
Okay.
Right? And now another thing that
and make sure that your microphone isn't on while you're doing these.
well, this is it. That's right. Make sure your little microphone's not on if you're in the
I
men's room.
remember you sharing that.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got a Facebook fan page.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so I remember you sharing that little tip. And
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that. We had a guest speaker at an event that I was at, and he had the wireless mic, and he went to the men's room, and he didn't turn the wireless mic off, and so you can sort of, I shared the experience with the entire audience, you know. But there's one last thing I'll share is, one of the things that throws speakers off is what I call stage shock. And stage shock happens when you first take the stage, and you turn and you look at the audience, and you see those eyeballs staring at you for the first time. And it shocks you, you know. So what I encourage people to do is find some way to get to the front of the room before you speak, just so that you can see what it looks like.
Yes.
So that when you take the stage, you don't get hit with stage shock.
So it's not a first time thing.
It's not a first time thing. And then you need to know that opening line. You know, I don't want you to memorize your presentation, but you do want to memorize that opening line.
So you can jump right into the presentation.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, now you have an event regularly, every month. That is called?
Your stage.
Your Stage,
Yeah.
right? And the purpose behind that is to give people the opportunity to get up and talk about themselves,
Right.
to take baby steps, one step at a time, right? And to connect their message to the people that are there, because you're bringing people together in like a networking event,
Right.
right? So can you tell us a little bit more about that? When is the next one, or when are they held? And we, of course, are going to have the links to your website and your fan page. We'll put those up on your feature page so people will know where to go get them. But what can you tell us about Your Stage?
Your Stage started off as an idea for a value add for my clients, because people were coming to me and taking my courses, my training, and then they'd say, okay, so now that I've done this, where can I go and speak? So I would say, you know, go to service clubs and Kiwanis clubs and B&I meetings and look for those. But the truth is, it's not that easy just to waltz out and find a place to speak.
Especially first time.
Yeah, especially first time. So I thought, I'll create one. So
Okay.
we put together this thing on Friday mornings, and I asked some of my clients, would you be interested in this? And they said, sure. So the first time we did it, we had 18 people, and then we had 25, and then we had 40, and then we had 60, and then we had 75,
Wow.
and just kind of take it off. And
Well,
so
that's amazing. It's
yeah,
impressive.
and so it has.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's morphed into sort of a business education and networking event now. We always
Mhm.
have guest speakers, and I always do some public speaking training, and we put people on the stage and we coach them, and we teach people how to talk about their business,
Okay.
and so and we do this once a month. It's on a Friday. Our next one is April 13th,
Mhm.
and so you just go to the meetup site at meetup.com
Okay.
/ Your Stage Canada.
Okay,
and
so we will
them
put
all
that
there.
link on your feature
Yeah.
page as well, so people know how to get there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and
Good.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Steve, very impressive talking to you.
Thank you. It's been a
Thank you
privilege.
very much. And on behalf of TechMag Social, thank you for listening to us.